What's up, Rat? Here's the skipper of the Rat. What's up, Cap?
Hey.
Join us tomorrow, July 18th at 1 p.m. Doc's Sunset Grill. The crab skiff races in Oxford, Maryland.
They bear in mind that these boats were designed for soft crabbing on the flats between Smith Island and Tangier Island. They're huge flats that cannot be reached other than by light draft, shallow draft boats like these. And they were built so that you could get out there on the flats and soft crab all day. And when the watermen got the bushels of soft crabs that they wanted, they would probably turn around and race home, which is what started the crab skiff racing idea. But these boats were designed as working boats, working skiffs. Originally, before the advent of the gasoline engine, they were sailed. They were propelled by sail. They had little gaff rig sails that they could put in the bottom of the boat and put the sails up, get out to the flats and soft crab, and then sail home. Around 1900, and after the war, World War I, single-stroke air-cooled motors became vogue. You could buy them from Sears and Roebuck, from a number of engine builders. You could buy them online, not online, but by catalog. And that's how the people of Smith Island powered these boats, with little air-cooled motors.
I'd like to add that the original Smith Island crab skiffs are quite different from the ones you see here today. The original two boats are two boats that are still in existence. One is in the museum at Smith Island, inside the museum in a controlled environment. and the other one is at this St. Michael's Maritime Museum inside a shed. And they're quite different from the derivative of these boats today, but there are only 2 boats left.
Just as an aside, these boats were used for a number of things, not the least of which was to run booze during Prohibition. They would run booze from the ships offshore or inshore so the alcohol could be shipped inland. So they were very versatile in many ways, and as you might expect, the watermen didn't pass up an opportunity to make a buck or two when they could, even if it meant running booze.
All right, so in a moment, the boats are going to come out. I'll introduce the drivers. Like I said, it's choppy today. And for those that are interested in seeing this on YouTube, I don't know whether it's the site here at Dock Sunset at Star Lake, but we're having some glitches, so we switched over to Facebook Live, and we will be showing the race on Facebook Live with all the commentary. So we'll square that away a bit. We apologize for that.
Well, those rafts are working out good.
Yeah.
Well, if they didn't have them, they'd be in the Carolinas by now.
Yeah.
So the hostesses have brochures for the race. We invite people to become supporting members. We'll have, as we move into the new year, we'll have different levels of membership to support the heritage of the crab skiffs and the races. So once again, we want to thank Dock Sunset Grill. They've extended themselves beautifully for the race. The food is delicious, the view is sublime, and the bartenders are very handsome, and they do a great job as big islanders. Thanks very much, bartenders. So next year we may have another race here, but we may do it so we have a middle of the day and then a sunset race, which is what we're made for. Well, once again, thanks to Chooch and the staff for helping us out. So the White Boston Whaler is the safety plan requires a safety boat, and it should be an interesting race once we get underway. We had a boat coming from...
We have the Coast Guard here.
We had a boat coming from Crisfield, but he wasn't able to make it today, so we're going to have the memorial race between 2 of our boats here. We want to thank the Coast Guard Station, Oxford, Maryland. They came out. They're here ensuring the safety of the race. And here's to the men and women of the Coast Guard. I just left after 34 years, so I know the work they do, and I applaud that you appreciate that.
So we're on YouTube now, right? We're on YouTube, right?
Yeah, we go to Facebook Live.
Are we on YouTube?
Yeah, we're on Facebook Live. Let me grab this. Thank you, sir. So the safety boat is moving into position, and they will start the race with a flag and a horn to let you know when the race starts. And remember, this is a little bit unique in that this is not like a Le Mans start with gentlemen start your engine and they run and leap in the vessels that take off.
We're on Facebook.
As a safety feature, we've put these skiff islands, the green floats that you see there, so the boats can sit
I
there.
don't know. We're having a problem with it. Facebook, I got to go. I'm on the air.
Okay, buddy.
We're on Facebook Live.
Facebook.
So once again, if you want to tell your friends, we've shifted over to Facebook Live for the race, and we appreciate it. We were going to fly a drone today, but the drone would be in Cambridge in about 7 minutes.
do all right, you think? You did a good job.
So the safety boat is going to moor to this buoy and operate as the flag boat.
We need to get him to say if anybody's interested in getting involved in craft racing, maybe contact any member of the association. These boats can be built from a kit.
Yeah, I said that there, and I said that contact me or Bart. Our names are on the.
So once again, the red boat is Swamp Rat with Eddie Gray. The white boat is Osprey with Steve Noonan. Vaughn Eckert is aboard Slippery Eel, and we have Bart Eckert, who's the president of the Smith Island Crab Skiff Association, and to whom we're very grateful because he saw the need to get these boats back in the water and racing. We didn't have any races in 2025. We did have a race in June at Kent Island, and that was, we call these regattas because they are a series of races. And the boats are in different classes, and there's a beautiful trophy awarded at the end of the year. It's an old school trophy that looks like it holds a gallon of rum. I don't know if sailors drink rum, but they could. I know you all are wondering about today with the chop out on the water. So the boats are going to be very wet, throwing a lot of spray. And one of the requirements is they're equipped with a bilge pump. So you may see the boats pumping bilges as they race. But they'll be all wet when it's over.
Also,
yeah, old school, when the bilge pump fails, there's a bucket. As long as it doesn't have a hole in it, dear Liza, dear Liza. You all know that song, you can sing along. Look at that, you know that song. Come on over here. Well, fix it. Yeah, so there's so much demand on a computer from YouTube and all of the hardware processing that I'm sitting here looking at it and it's like, restart. You can't restart. You know what I mean? It's like you got to land the plane. So luckily.
Speaking of songs, did you ever hear the song "Your Mouth Has a Hole in It"?
Oh yeah. I wish my wife would tell me that I have a hole in my mouth and I ought to close it. So after we introduce the race, what I'm going to do is I'll have you guys call the first race. So just share the microphone because he's mic'd up. Sid, he's got a mic, so you'll call it. Hold it up tight though.
Guess it. Can you write down a piece of paper, name? That's Slippery Eel. What is the
Osprey?
Oxford and Chrisfield. Slippery Eel is Oxford, the white boat. Chrisfield will be the dark boat. Does that make it easier?
what now? Well, I know that we got.
Here, hold that.
Well, we got Puppy's boat, which is
Slippery Eel.
Swamp Rat, and we have a Slippery Eel. And we have.
Slippery Eel is Oxford and the
Here you
Swamp
go.
Rat is Chrisfield.
Just circle them. Swamp Rat's one.
twisted oyster, right? Twisted oyster.
Slippery eel, yeah.
Slippery
So
eel,
what
twisted
kind of
oyster.
started this all between Crisfield and Oxford was a letter from Oxford, Maryland on August 29th, 1997. Dear Mr. Paul, being a true Eastern shoreman in appreciation of authentic working bay craft and those that work them, I have determined that I have in my possession the fastest Smith Island crab skiff in the world, second only to the one which I plan to build during the next 12 months. To verify this, I hereby issue the following challenge to all comers worldwide. An authentic Smith Island crab space race to be held the last week of August during the 51st Crisfield Crab Derby. The race will start at the first buoy outside Crisfield Harbor. Buoy 1 at Smith Island shall be left to port and finish back to the first buoy outside Crisfield Harbor. The course will be roughly 10 miles. The race shall be governed by the J. Millard Taws Smith Island Crab Race Committee, the U.S. Coast Guard, and this has some panache, the United States Navy. The only restriction in the construction of the Smith Island crab skiff shall be limitation of not more than 20 horsepower. All engines shall be inboard. The design shall be traditional Smith Island design approved by J. Millard Taws Museums, Smith Island Crab Regatta Committee. There will be no entry fee required. Entry forms are available at the museum. The race will be held rain or shine, calm or hurricane. Winner take all. Signed, Richard White. And that's what started the modern era of the Smith Island crab skiff.
I got it right? Oxford.
And there is a drone aloft, and we'll post that on the YouTube channel so you can see it later. We don't want to divert your attention to what's going to happen out here.
Swamp rat?
Yeah, that's the black boat. No, the red boat's swamp. Wait a minute. The swamp rat is the red boat.
Is that the boat beside that?
Yeah, yeah.
race, but it's got wicker seats to keep your fanny cool. It's Captain Eddie Gray. Swamp Rat is, there's a whole YouTube with Eddie Gray in our YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram channel. And I will say that Eddie is a maritime school graduate engineer. He is a wonderful guy, and he's full of bull. That's why I like him. Next boat out is Osprey, the white boat. This is a unique boat in that it's a fiberglass boat, and it's with Captain Steve Noonan, who, interestingly enough, is a maritime graduate as an engineer. It's a very fast boat, and it doesn't have a tiller to steer. It has a hand wheel, much like a steamship's engine room would have to open steam valves. Swamp Donkey's not in the race, so its chances are nil. But we do have the world's best bartenders here at Dock Sunset Grill. All right, so here we go with Steve Noonan and Osprey. And now we have Oxford's own Vaughn Eckert, who is a student at Dartmouth studying mechanical engineering, and she did a lot of work on these boats to bring them up to snuff. And one of the things she did was created kind of a universal wiring harness. So cheer for the best woman on the course and the best woman I know. And she's only running at half throttle. She's a sleeper. And now our president, Bart Eckert, he's also a maritime graduate of a maritime school, a licensed chief engineer, steam, motor, probably gas turbines too, but he is running the Twisted Oyster, which is a beautiful, beautiful boat. And you see how agile that boat is. So the boats have radios where they can communicate with one another and the starter. And like I said, I apologize for the YouTube setup because we would have had multiple cameras and we would have had, you could listen to the radio communication, but I've got Bob Wallace here with me and I have Sid Campen for a few minutes. And I have to say, you're the best audience we've ever had, and we appreciate your enthusiasm. And if this wins a daytime Emmy, we're going to share it with you. Free drinks at the bar. Someone else is going to pay for them, though.
Yep.
I'm assuming we're still having the two-boat memorial race.
I don't know.
Because I didn't know that about John Pepe.
What?
Well, you said Paul didn't come. I'm sorry? You said Paul didn't come.
Yeah, so I guess we're not going to have it.
Well,
Are you on the air now?
yeah, I see that. So the first race is scheduled to be the memorial race for the Chrisfield Dickie White Doug Hanks, and we'll just see what develops with the weather today. But no matter what, we're going to dedicate the first race to the memory of Dickie White, Doug Hanks, who are wonderful guys who made all this happen and brought us back to what you see here today. Next year, we hope for 6 races and 7 or 8 boats out on the water.
How many boats you guys usually have?
Well, this year 4, but we've had 7 or 8 over the course of time. See the bad thing. All right, so this is the first race will be 2 boats. We're working on mechanical issues with the boats in the foreground, the Twisted Oyster and Slippery Eel. So we'll let you know, but the 2 boats are lining up for the race, and that'll be the first race. next year we'll have swag. We'll have coffee cups, mugs, t-shirts, ball caps, koozies, polar fleece, fisherman's boots, white fisherman's boots with our logo on them, and sponsors.
That's what. Dead start race.
Yeah, they're going to do one.
Are we gonna have a dead start, you think?
Yeah, well, you know what?
All right, so you see Vaughn here, she's got her paddle out, and she is using the alternate means of propulsion for the moment. And she is an avid canoeist, so this is nothing new to her.
There's some people, I don't know, really weird. Next boat there's got an engine cover on it. Makes the engine go run hot.
Looks to me like a slippery eel has an engine problem.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he has a steering issue or a fuel issue. They take a pound and come around here. What's that? He's going to help. He's going to help her. I don't know what's that.
Look at your boat on the way here. It's beautiful.
So the Coast Guard is the Marine Event Patrol, and to have a marine event, if any of you are sailors, yachtsmen, boat racers, you have to submit an extensive approval process to the Coast Guard 135 days in advance, and they put it in the Federal Register for comments, and they establish a safety zone. And in general, we don't advocate for spectator boats because the proximity to the course. There is a buffer zone established by the Coast Guard around the course where spectator craft have to stay outside of that zone. And that's all in the interest of safety for the participants and safety for the maritime public.
We got to do the same thing when we do water sports on the Summer River.
Yeah.
What happens with rail?
Huh?
What happens with rail?
Steering, I think. I don't know. Oh, you mean go out with your boat?
What's that?
You mean leave?
Yeah, I'm going to Cambridge.
Well, yeah, just a little bit. If you stay 200 feet off these green marks and just curve around, you're good. In the pandemonium that this is crab racing, they might have actually started. And they're around the first mark, heading to the second green mark, and here's Bart. Maybe he's going to play catch up.
Yep. Bart, Swamp Rat. I'm not Bart, sorry. Swamp Rat is in just taking over first place. It's a 2 boat lengths. Rough water.
Gotta make it exciting.
Coming to the third buoy, coming up on the front stretch, back stretch rather than.
So we see Swamp Rat around the farthest mark, heading to the through the gates. There are multiple laps.
That's 4, right? We have 4 laps at the first lap. They're slowing down quite a bit because of the rough water.
And here's Steve Noonan coming up.
coming down the back stretch, down the second buoy, heading dead into the wind.
What do you do, about 20
They're
miles an
throwing a
hour?
lot of water around right
30, some of them can go.
Yeah.
Keep calling.
now. A swamp rat is now in the lead. It's he's a 3/4 lap ahead. Now he's coming down the back stretch. Quite sure that if you have any
Steve Noonan going around far buoy.
some of them up. He's coming down. He's slowing down. We're slowing down. There's a boat crossing the race course. You have to halt the race for safety reasons.
Hey, I think, let me see that for a minute.
I said the safety for the.
I think somebody just insulted me. That sailboat thinks he's going for the downwind mark.
Our boat's going to catch up. This is all part of the
There's the swamp rat is making it around the second buoy. And slow down for safety reasons with a sailboat to pass in front of everybody. The sailboat came out of the marina behind us. Coast Guard's out on the south end of the course. Got a boat to move him from keeping him from coming into the race course. But the Coast Guard can't be everywhere. So doing a great job, and thank you. Swamp rat is on the south end of the course, heading toward the fourth marker.
All right, here's Swamp Rat.
Swamp rat first place.
How many full lengths is that?
2,000. Shit. So Swamp Rat crossed the line, followed by Steve Noonan. I'll blame it all on the sailboat. Too much of a distraction. So there was a huge round of applause for those that are listening on Facebook Live. All right, so we'll take a few minutes to recalibrate. And once again, there are brochures about the Smith Island Crab Skiff Association for you to get from the hostesses. And we want to thank Chooch again. Next year when we do this, the bartenders will make a slippery eel drink that'll put you under. They'll make swamp rat, osprey, and fat oyster.
Water.
Oh, we got more.
Tolerate it.
We have a few others.
Did a great job, man.
We'll see how it goes. So if you'd been around 100 years ago, you would have seen these vessels that operated by sail, and the foredeck is where the crabber would stand with his dip net as he moved through the shallow grass fields to grab crabs off the bottom. And then what they would do when they became motorized in the advent of gasoline engines, all of the crabbers would kind of look at each other and give a knowing wink. And with that, they would be off racing home for the bragging rights of the fastest skiff in a particular area. The story goes, and I think next year we may have a commemorative race, I can picture a post out in the water with a bottle of rum hanging on it, where the boat has to go back by and snag it with a boat hook. Of course, the Crisfield guys would have a 35-foot boat hook, and the regulation, and I'm saying this humorously, would have a 4-foot boat hook. But the first guy to grab the hanging bottle of rum would win the race. That's just my idea. But these vessels were reportedly carrying booze during the Prohibition era from mother vessels out into the little tributaries of the waterway, and they would be able to get a couple of cases of liquor in there and run them up into Crisfield or run them over to St. Michael's. So they ran booze allegedly in the Prohibition area, and then we have World War II, and lighter, faster engines get put in, and the vessels get faster, and we move up to the modern era. There are these boats, Bob, in the museums around the...
One in Smith Island at the museum that's owned by the Solomons Island Museum, and the other boat is in the in the St. Michael's Maritime Museum.
All right, so if you want to see the historic ones, and we're off for the second race. Yeah, this is Osprey versus Swamp Rat, and the way this works is points accumulate over the regatta. So you could win a race like Swamp Rat did. There is no elapsed time, and then the points are given, and at the end of the regatta, there is a winner for the particular regatta, just like sailing. Don't boo on the sailing part, please, for God's sakes. That's where I find my life. But I have an engine. And I have to say, I've seen some of the prettiest boats in Oxford, Maryland that I've seen in my whole life. And we thank you all for coming out here today. I know we wanted to have 4 boats on the water, but 2 boats are better than 0 boats on a Saturday afternoon in July. All right, so Steve's in the lead in this race. Oyster's coming around. Swamp Rat. And you notice they make wide turns because it's the steering system, the size, rotation of the propeller, and a whole bunch of other boat design, naval architectural considerations. And none of those naval architect considerations are used in designing these boats. And if you see Bob Wallace's boat down below, it's painted with all grip. It is beautiful seafoam green. Take a minute and think about what it would be like to build the boat. It's a work of art. All right, around the first lap, Steve Noonan is in the lead in Osprey. Tight on his tater box is what we call it on the waterways of Louisiana, a swamp rat. And anybody know why they call the stern of a boat in Louisiana a tater box? Raise your hand. Buy me a drink. No. It's where they stored the potatoes. True story. So this race is brought to you by Bertha's. Fells Point, Baltimore. Bertha's mussels. They cure everything that's wrong with you. Yeah, there you go. We'll start singing that later. Ain't there no more. Breaks my heart. The next race will be brought to us by Dredging Is My Drudgery, a hand cream made by fishermen for fishermen's chapped hands, made by an oysterman. Steve's still in the lead, still has his helmet on, and I can guarantee you he is soaking wet. Look, the first person that sees the bilge pump outflow working above the gunnel buys me a drink. Bob may have to buy me a drink after this is over. All right, Steve remains in the lead as he turns this mark.
This swamp rat, the seat in the back.
Steve's running for the pins.
He's in the behind the end. That's why I sit in front of the end.
Oh, there you go. Now we'll see what happens. And if the association had $1 million, we'd have a camera system here tracking this whole thing, drones in the air, and a 3-piece orchestra. Because Vaughn Eckert plays the trumpet, and that's one piece in the orchestra. Steve's still in the lead. And as the boats hit the swell, just keep in mind, we are at the threshold of where we race in terms of wave and sea height and wind height. Imagine a drone up there giving you the bird's eye view. It's terrific, but you can't see it. But you're still amazed. Uh-oh. Looks like Swamp Rat's going to take him on the outside. We'll see what happens. No, they do. They have idiosyncrasies in the turn direction. That's why we go clockwise. It's even worse if we went counterclockwise. Look at that turn. That was a skidding turn. And like I said, the White Boat Osprey is fiberglass. It's not pretty, but it's fast. All right, Osprey by a boat length and a half. All right, if anybody's keeping count, and I know everybody's keeping count,
It's so rough.
at Swamp Rat 1, Noonan and Osprey, the second race.
2 of the markers have washed off the mark.
What's that?
2 markers have lost their buoys. They're off the mark because of wind. There's 2 over here, and 1 over here flat. Yep.
So a little about the boats. I told you they were up to 23 feet long, minimum of 18 feet. There are some complex formulas about the beam of the boat and the dead rise and so forth, but they're generally a Briggs & Stratton, Kohler, or Honda air-cooled engine, and you cannot soup them up. You can't take them to a race shop and have the pistons oversized and all that. We have all rotating equipment is guarded and shrouded to protect. We have transmissions are allowed, but they're generally impractical. And the guy that owns Osprey swears he's going to put a clutch in there so he can at least go into neutral.
I've got a clutch in my boat. My boat has a clutch.
So if you go down, he's in the, not that Bob, this Bob. Thank you, Bob. There's a bunch of Bobs. But Bob is in the bright yellow shirt. He will tell you about his boat and how absolutely beautiful it is. And it is beautiful. And for $42, he will let you take a picture with him standing next to you. If you kiss him, it's free.
Free today.
Only today it's free.
I hope we didn't lose that orange marker. Starting mine, we lost one.
Well, it's got a safety line on it.
It does, it went down.
Our website is www.crabskiffracing.com. And once again, the food here at Docks is wonderful. And we hope that you thank Chooch and staff for supporting these races. So with the weather like it is, blowing and gusting, I'm waiting to hear what the plan is for race number 3 or race number 4. So just stay tuned. We will put this, it's on, right now it's on Facebook Live, but we will transfer this to YouTube, and we do apologize for the technical glitch. We hope to resolve it, but you can see it on Facebook Live.
Let somebody else win. Could you let somebody else win?
All right, so we're setting up for another race. This will be the tiebreaker between Osprey and Swamp Rat. So we invested in these green floating islands for safety's sake to let the boats heave to. And like I said, in my seaman's eye, this is 16 to 18 knots of wind, which is challenging. And we went out this morning to our local West Marine and bought $241 worth of mushroom anchors for those red vertical pylons today. So I guess that's my reason for supporting the organization and joining and becoming a member. So for everybody out here today, this is a labor of love. And, you know, labors of love don't come cheap. These people have worked on these boats all year. They have brought some boats back from the brink. Osprey was basically a non-functioning shell The Watermen's Association was wonderful. They donated an engine, one of the Kohler engines, and that helped engine up one of these boats. So we're off for the final race. The tiebreaker. And Swamp Rat is in the lead. Around the first turn, Swamp Rat is in the lead. This race is brought to you by the Watermen's Temperance Society, who urge you not to drink. Founded in 1837. Doesn't exist, never did. And Swamp Rat continues in the lead. Steve Noonan and Osprey is in the trail position. He's drafting. I don't know if it helps on the water. Swamp Rat around the third mark. It might be that Swamp Rat has a very fast boat. The crowd goes wild. It's unbelievable. And you know what? The crowd goes even wilder for the underdog, Steve Noonan. From Lewis, Delaware, all the way. Or lose, or whatever it is. We're talking about next year exploring having a race up there in the far frozen north of Delaware. Steve's rounding the mark now, 1 full course length in the longitudinal direction. Swamp Rat has rounded the third mark. Wind speed, 21 knots. And now he's going to have the wind on the tater box as he makes the run. See, you learned something new, tater box. Cost you nothing.
Hey, just a light one.
And Bart Eckert, the spoiler, something's going on. We planned this like WW Wrestling. Here's Bart back on the scene. We don't know what's going to happen, but Swamp Rat is notoriously in the lead. That rat. So don't forget to go down below and visit Bob Wallace's boat. He got up early this morning and towed it all the way down from the beautiful village of Chestertown, where they have the most beautiful skiffs in the world. Swamp Rat's about to turn on the final leg with a following wind. You got to remember that Eddie Gray now weighs 40 pounds more because he's soaking wet. And I have a feeling this is it for race 3. Thank you for your cheers and applause. So for safety, we invested in helmet radios, so I'm listening to the helmet radios now to see what's coming up next.
Just keep going left and left until you have to make a right in the water.
All right, Steve's blasting for the home stretch here. Let's give him a non-stingy round of applause for the competitor. The man in the arena, or should I say the crab skiff. Steve, you got a huge round of applause, bigger than for Swamp Rat.
Yeah, don't go to don't go to there. You go belt.
I believe that Bart, the master engineer, is trying to resolve the steering issue. So you might want to step below and take a look at Bob Wallace's boat. Have your picture taken with him. He gives you free pictures for a kiss. Hey, they're going down to get kisses. No, you got to get a kiss on the boat with your boat so they take a picture. Yeah, run down there, man. Bye, y'all. Thanks for coming. You getting your picture taken with Bob?
Great, man.
Take care, y'all.
Coast Guard, right?
34 years.
69.
You're checking out too.
I started in 71. Jarvis, Plane Tree, and Acoustic. So we're going to keep the live broadcast going while we figure out what comes next. And we thank you for watching. And this will be on YouTube later today. Our pleasure. Thank you.
A little Bertha's in there, huh?
Huh?
Little Bertha's.
Yeah. Take care.
I was actually going to sing it and get the audience to join along because, you know, it'll cure your diarrhea and constipation too.
Yeah, I do a little bit of everything.
Just eat a few for the chicken pox or the measles or the flu. So when you're ashore in Baltimore and you fancy a bite to eat, just wander on down to Bertha's. You'll be in for a rare old treat. Take care, Cap.
You too, man.
All the best. Thank you very much. Thank you, man. All right, so we are going to do another race since you begged for it. And I believe, look, oh my God, slippery eel. Back from the dead, so to speak. And it might be the only one, I've only been with this group for a year, but the only woman driver.
And in the background, you hear
I'm wrong. Paul Denbo, master photographer, has corrected me.
president of the Skiff Association taking a turn around the buoys, check on the buoy positions and the lines to make sure that the anchors are set at the right depth.
So here, let's give a hand for Vaughn and Slippery Eels back on the course. It was a steering issue. Yeah, that's Steve coming back on Osprey. That's Swamp Rat coming back. He's so fast, he's got time to go everywhere. Sightseeing.
This portion you by berths. The bar in Fells Point, that's not here anymore.
So with 4 boats out on the course, I'm believing there will be 4. It'll be a little bit of a different race when you consider race and other vessel avoidance.
They're the best there is by far. You can eat them in the dining room, you can eat them in the bar. So when you're ashore in Baltimore and you fancy a bite to eat, just
Bart's just going to lay on the Skiff Island and catch a little sun there. All right, so we're about to have the final race, 3 boats, Osprey, Swamp Rat, and Slippery Eel. And we honor the memory of Dickie White and Doug Hanks. In every race we race. I hope Bart has some sunscreen over there. All right, they're off. And it looks like Slippery Eel is taking the lead. Don't even believe that. Osprey, Slippery Eel, and Swamp Rat. Swamp Rat is going wide. I don't know why he's doing that. It could just be that he's Eddie Gray. Osprey in the lead around the first mark, followed by Slippery Eel and Eddie Gray and Swamp Rat. But he's giving it the gun right now, and he is starting to walk up on him. And Paul Denbo is taking some beautiful pictures of this race, and he did inform me that Vaughn is not the first woman driver. She is the second woman driver, which makes her accomplishment incredibly wonderful. All right, still Osprey, followed by Slippery Eel, and Eddie Gray is sneaking up on Slippery Eel, despite the fact that the hull on Slippery Eel was lubricated with eel grease just this morning. Going downwind, Osprey's in the lead. Eddie is beginning to overtake Slippery Eel. And they're through the pins. And the blue crab boat is in the buffer zone. I got to tell you, from my eyes, this is a beautiful scene. Eddie's hitting the chop in the wake of the vessel that just incurred the buffer zone. Osprey's got a commanding lead, but it looks like Vaughn on Slippery Eel is maintaining her distance. And you can hear by the engine sound that Eddie is gunning it from time to time. But Eddie also ran out of fuel in Kent Island, so you never know. Around the third mark, going crosswind. And Osprey's turning for the pins. Once again, a beautiful sight as all boats are on the leg coming down towards the start-finish line. 1 lap to go. Osprey's over, 1 lap to go, followed closely behind Swamp Rat. And Slippery Eel is right on Eddie's stator box. Don't you love the throaty roar? Reminds me of PT boats in the Solomon Islands. Not here in Maryland, but over there. Vaughn has cut the corner, and she is in the lead. It's more of that Eckerd skullduggery. Slippery Eel is in the lead, followed closely. Photo finish kind of between Osprey and Rat Fink. Swamp Rat. Vaughn might have missed the mark in the exuberance of the moment. And the umpires are going to have to call this finish. But we have a robot computer that can do that in nanoseconds. It's unbelievable. You should see it. Osprey, Swamp Rat. And now, in a protest, maybe, Slippery Eel is about to cross the line, followed by, from my vantage point, it looks like Osprey, and in a flurry of spray, Swamp Rat. Give him another big round of applause. Well, that was fun, wasn't it? And now we have to get the umpires to chime in. In my mind, she won. Because all it was about was drama and pride and heritage.
It was a photo finish, but she got it.
There we go. The judge, what did you say?
She got it. She got the checkered flag all the way.
All right, so someone just said, one of the most beautiful patrons up here
All the way.
said that she got the checkered flag, so that could be. So we post to all social media that I'm aware of. Instagram. Interestingly enough, we did an interview with Captain Steve Noonan yesterday, and in the miracle of social media, it got news. What the heck is going on with those children? Too much screen time. But the interview we did with Vaughn Eckerd this morning on Facebook is just wonderful, and the future of racing is in her hands, and I hope that everybody takes a look at that, because her commitment to this organization, considering she's a student that goes to school away is the of the Coast Guard and everybody that obeyed the marine event permit. Some got a little close, but thanks again, and watch us on all the social media.